circle. Now for the youth, you think you have peer pressure? You really think that what you're dealing with is something so enormous and something so unbelievable, there's no limit behind it? Your own history, meaning being a Muslim, teaches you exactly what peer pressure is all about. There is one man that you all know, every single one of us in this room, I'm sure we all know him. This one man, at the tender age of 13 years old, he walks out in front of his entire community and he says to everybody, worship Allah. Say La ilaha illallah. Every single person says, no, we don't care, we don't want to listen to you. So he goes now to his own father and he says, oh my father, say La ilaha illallah. The father says, if you continue to do this, I'm going to have you removed from this community and your life also will be removed from this world. So the son, this is not natural, this is something beyond natural, this is a special person. He responds to his father and he doesn't say, what's wrong with you? Are you crazy? I'm your son. He says to the father, oh my father, I am going to continue to ask Allah to forgive you. And I'll leave you and I will go. Everybody here, tell me who this person is I'm talking to. Ibrahim alayhi salam. Now I want you to just look at the image. Just look as though there's a play unfolding in front of you. Now Ibrahim, he's captured, alayhi salam, he's captured. And they build a fire. You guys all know the story. Some of the ulama, they said that fire was so hot and so high that the birds flying in the sky would die from the heat from that fire. They would fall from the sky to their death. And Ibrahim, he's there with the chiefsmen and the entire community. What kind of pressure would that be? At the end, what does he say? He just still says, La ilaha illallah. I'm going to stick to what I have. So imagine, if you really think that you're dealing with peer pressure, you got to understand who you are. And this is why the next point that I want to share with you is one of the challenges that our youth face is that they lose their Muslim identity. Again, we briefly touched on this yesterday. That the children today, they're not proud of being Muslim anymore. And we mentioned yesterday an example that, you know, sometimes you'll see, I'm sure all of us here, we've seen this before. Your child or your son or daughter will be walking on the street, or if they're with their friends. Students, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And you see somebody and they're doing something haram. Okay, so you know they're wearing something haram, or skirt is a little too short, or something different, or they have an earring, and you say to yourself, I would love to do that, but I can't because, you know, I have a strict religion called Islam. I would love to wear what she's wearing, but I can't because I'm Muslim. It's as if they're just not proud anymore. They're just doing it just because they've been forced into it. If you don't love who you are, then this is the first problem, that you may lose the identity of who you are. And this is why the ulama say that one of the most effective ways to preserve who you are as a human being is to love and be content of what you are. Be content that you are a Muslim. Be content that you're a human being, that you're healthy, and Allah Azza wa Jal gave you this, gave you that, gave you all the pleasures that you have. If you're content and every single day you're happy, فَلَنُحْيَنَّهُ حَيَاةً طَيِّبًا. Allah Azza wa Jal says, I guarantee you, no matter what you say, no matter what you think or do, I guarantee you, a happy life is going to be with you. Now just a side note when it comes to this whole identity crisis that our youth go through. What is our identity? Our identity is just one word. Muslim. Period. Doesn't matter who we are, doesn't matter what group you belong to, doesn't matter what manhaj you follow, doesn't matter what madhab you study, you're Muslim. I'm Muslim, you're Muslim, that's it. That's our identity. Allah Azza wa Jal tells us in the Quran that we are from amongst the Muslimin. So many times you see this word Muslimin. Allah Azza wa Jal Himself gives us our identity and tells us who we are. So we don't need to study it. We don't need to listen to anybody and figure out, or somebody to tell us who we really are. We already know. We just need to kind of open our eyes just a little bit wider to really understand that that identity was with us this entire time.